going to give you guys an update on the drumming progress. So I've learned some new things. Even watching that one video I posted 5 days ago, I'm already like, man, amateur. I knew I was amateur, but now it's more obvious because I'm developing in my understanding. And so my neighbor just pulled in, so I'm going to pause for a second, but not play yet. But so, I already knew I had a lot to learn, and that my technique was sloppy, but now it just becomes more obvious because I'm getting better. And what's cool about getting better at something like drumming is you get better without having to think about it. You practice and you get better. You just automatically wake up and the next day you're magically better at it, which is pretty cool. And so I'll show you what I've been practicing, what I've learned. And so I generally try to copy the professional videos with their technique where the slap and the tone, it looks almost identical, but it sounds different, and they go like this: slap and then tone. So, and yeah, slap and tone like that. I watched a video the other day and I noticed this guy was getting a low slap and a high slap, and then so I learned there's a low slap. And now I got a high slap. So I'll compare to them. And am I doing the low slap wrong? I don't know. There's nobody in existence to really show me, unless I go to Kansas City or I go to Boulder. Been trying to find someone in St. Louis who can help me. It's been difficult. So I've been just doing the high slap. I kind of go inward more. And so when I first started, I was actually getting injured, hurting myself. And now I can play for much longer without hurting myself because I've refined my technique. And so instead of slapping with my knuckles on the rim like this, I actually take my pinky knuckle off the rim into the head a little bit, and then my thumb's more in line with this. My thumb isn't in line with the rim, but the ring around the rim slightly below it. So it's like, and I can play for a lot longer without hurting myself. And maybe my hands are getting more used to it. So now, I've been adjusting my slap technique from this to this. And I like that better because I want to really distinguish. I want the highest note possible for the slap, and I want the lowest note possible for the tone, so it's obvious and clear what I'm playing. So, and now for the tone, I'm trying to get the tones much more consistent. And it just, you hear that? You heard a little bit of the rim in that. There's a higher tone in that wasn't proper. That's better. The second to last one, I hit it in a weird way where it brought out the higher notes. I don't want to bring out the higher note. I want only the low note every single time. When I hit it with the bottom of my palm a little bit, it's touching the rim, which is bringing out the high note a little bit. Or sometimes I hit it kind of like, not using this, but the way I hit it, with the tension I have in my fingers, it's off in a certain way where it brings out a higher note because the way it hits the drum. And so I want the lowest note possible every single time perfectly. That's what I'm working towards. Not everyone is perfect, every stroke. And so I was reluctant to even freestyle or play any grooves for a few days because I couldn't do so without messing up my technique, and I don't want to practice bad technique. yesterday I just had fun. It was pretty good most of the time. And so I'm going to do technique exercises for 5 to 10 minutes and then freestyle. So if you're watching this video for whatever reason, you're learning the drums or you're just bored or whatever, I'm going to warm up for about 5 or 10 minutes. And then when I start freestyling, that'll be obvious. If you don't want to watch the warm up, which you probably don't because it's boring, skip ahead 5 or 10 minutes. You'll see when I'm soloing. It's obvious. I already know what solo I kind of want to play in my head, but I'm going to warm up first. I want to have fun and play right now, but because I'm a responsible musician, I'm going to warm up first because that's how you actually get better. Well, it helps a lot. So you warm up, you exercise your technique before you actually play and have fun. Use some discipline. Warm up at least 5-10 minutes before you play every time. Am I a perfect role model? No. But because I'm being really precise about my technique right now while I'm still learning this instrument, I am being more careful than I normally am about warming up. So I'm just going to practice tones and slaps. The bass I don't practice a lot because tones and slaps are my primary concern. So I mess around with open hand or my fingers together, open hand loose, open hand tight with the fingers. Just experimenting with the feel in every way to find what's best for me. Best for me, more so what's best for this drum to get the sound I want. Don't play accidentally. If you just goof off and have fun, you're not really playing intentionally because you haven't learned how to hit it yet. And learning is more than just knowing, it's also embodying through practice. See, I'm going faster and it's getting sloppier. I don't want to hear any bass when I do my slap, which is kind of hard. I think my pinky is what's hitting it to bring out the bass. Let's just experiment with lifting my pinky. Not really realistic. I've also learned that with the tone, the stiff arm is better than using the wrists. The drum set's all about the wrists and fingers, but on this, I watched a video saying to stiff arm it. I tried it and it is better. You're really trying to hit this part of the hand with the tone. This part should not touch. You hit this all at the same time. And you have to be stiff for it. I'm doing a little bit of a motion where my hand's inward. I'm not going like this. It's like a rotation. See how my elbow is moving? It's not an extension of the elbow. It's like an internal rotation that I'm doing. a little bit because I'm bringing the hand inward more in order to hit closer to the rim because I don't want to get the low note in the slap. And it also allows me to prevent myself from hitting this part of my hand on the edge, which strikes a nerve that hurts. So by doing the internal rotation a little bit, I'm hitting this part of the hand more on the skin itself, preventing from hurting myself. You gotta be snappy about it. When you watch it in slow mo, if you record it in slow mo, it's like boom. You hit this, and then the fingers slap it. And the reason it makes a slap noise is because the entire hand isn't hitting at one time. It's like it's hitting it like this. It's like because the fingers slap into it, it rolls into it, which causes the sound in the air to crack. And so it only works if it's like relaxed. You're extending your fingers out like this. You're not contracting, you're extending your fingers and being relaxed at the same time. You have to extend your fingers because some people are going to try to slap with their hands closed, and then it has less of a distance to travel to hit it, so there's less power in it. If you're playing conga, you might actually curve your fingers like that for certain things, but at least from what I've observed in watching the djembe videos, is that generally keep the fingers more open. Could I be wrong? Maybe. This is just where I'm at right now, what I'm observing and paying attention to. And when watching my friends try to do it, what's made it not work for them, which is their hands are too curved. Their fingers. It's not perfectly straight. I'm going like this a little bit. It just, when I say a second ago, my friend's hands are really bent. I don't think that was right. Does that work for her hands? I don't know. This is about the position I'm in. You can't really see from my angle, but it's like... Just a little bit more warm-up before I play this groove I got in my head. Or maybe I'll play it now. I'll warm up a little more with both hands. I just did a slap too low and hurt myself a little bit because I was too low on it. So I hit the really hard rim with my hand. It's part about learning the technique. You can hurt yourself doing this, unlike playing a drum set. I'm not playing exactly how I want to. Gotta get the technique down. On another instrument like the drum set, I'd be able to play what I'm imagining more easily, but because this is a different instrument, it feels a bit different. It's not something I'm used to, so I'm trying to like boom ba dum boom ba da bum ba dum boom ba dum boom ba dum boom ba da bum ba dum boom ba dum boom ba da bum ba dum bum ba dum boom ba da boom ba da bum ba da bum ba dum boom ba dum. All variations of that, but sometimes it gets awkward on it because I'm still getting it down on this instrument. See, that second to last tone was shit. And see that? I just did 2 right hands in a row. I'm trying to only alternate my hands, so I'm still getting the muscle memory down for the djembe. And I shouldn't perform on the street until I can do this perfect without slipping up. I should be able to freestyle 30 minutes straight without slipping up. But right now I slip up once every 2, 3, 4 minutes. Because I'm still getting the technique down. And also, I slip up more than that. When I say slip up, I mean where I have to stop. But actually slipping up with poor technique, every other note. Or every 5 or 10 notes, whatever, but. See, I was about to hit the right hand, but I caught myself. Left. I just did a fill at the end, which ended up making the sticking lead with my left hand, so now I have to play the whole thing off on my left hand too. Somehow I ended up sticking on the right hand unintentionally. I'm still figuring this stuff out. Exercises like that are like some of the best ones that challenge yourself like that. Stuff you slip up at. That's how you get better. Now I'm gonna eat another raw egg, do maybe some breathing exercises really quick, and then I'll do the solo thing that I wanted to do since I picked up this drum. I'm gonna look at my live stream for a second. Okay, who's in here? It's not showing me. Nothing pops up for whatever reason. Okay, I can't see who's watching. I just read the chat. I gotta shave my neck. When I post my drumming live streams, man, I got like 5 likes. I'm like, what? I know at least 1,000 people saw my story. Only 5 people gave it a like. Come on. Okay. Minimum time to space out eggs, 0 minutes. But it's good to wait 5, but you don't have to. Just don't chug it all at once, like in a glass. I don't know if the solo is going to come out perfect exactly how I want to play in my head because I'm still getting my technique down. But I'll try. Gonna do the breathing exercise first. I'm just gonna sit for a moment though. Collect myself. If you're watching, you should meditate for a minute too. Take some deep breaths right now. Breathe into your belly. Close your eyes if you can. Clear your mind. Every time you think, just let go of it. Don't think about your thoughts. Don't try to force yourself not to think either. Just the second you recognize a thought, let go of it and breathe. I'll do it for a minute or two. And just sit and relax. Actively relax. Every moment trying to relax deeper. Feels good to me. Okay, now I'm going to do a adrenalizing breathing technique to prepare for my solo. Man, I want to go back to Miami. Yeah, I want to go to Miami. Okay. Maybe I'll do the breathing exercise again. How about that? Kind of fucked up, to be honest. Oh, damn. That was intense. Woo! Oh my god. Okay. How did it go? It'd be easier if I beatbox it, to be honest. It's like. Okay. Let me see. I can do it in my head, but then when I actually try to play it, I forget it. Yeah. It's because I'm anxious playing this still. I'm not confident in it yet. Because I know it's loud as fuck and all my neighbors can hear me. That's the truth. I have one neighbor who probably can't even hear me in their house, to be honest. I got a neighbor right there who probably also can't even hear me in their house anyway, because they're kind of far. Is there anybody over there? I don't even think there's people over there. If there's kids I live in the back of a high school. If there's kids in the track, maybe they can hear me. Which I think would be pretty badass if I was on a track and I was like hearing that shit in the background. Because they actually have a drummer that practices back there too, so there's drummers there. It's also because I feel the need to play loud. So it makes it feel cool, but I'll try to play it quiet. I'm also anxious because I'm on the stream too. You know, live streaming doesn't make me always play as well. So it's like, fuck, I'll just do it, okay. I added an extra note. Let me try again. The first time, I'm going to change the sticking. This is the first time I've ever attempted this. Basically the intro. I did good for the first half, but then I started improvising, and it still sounded good, but it's not what I intended to play. I was trying to play like, and see, even the technique there isn't all perfect. You might think it sounds cool, but the technique is still off. The first tone was dry. All those were good. Also, part of it was I was like wanting to play something like this. It was like, and see, the tones are sloppy. You can't hear the bass in it properly. The second tone was off. I'm telling you this so you can know what good practice looks like, by the way, so you can practice better. Because you should be practicing. It's also, I was like, and even that, I can't hear the distinction between the slap and the tone properly. It should be so distinct, so clear, so obvious. Very high, very low, nothing in between where it just sounds like a mix of everything. It needs to be very clear. And even then, those last two slaps still had some tone in them. And when you start playing this, like, how the fuck am I ever going to play this without ever messing up? How am I going to play perfect every single fucking time? You don't have to worry about trying so hard to be perfect forever. Because eventually you just become perfect. And what I mean by that is you master the technique and you no longer have to think about it. Right now, it's like, man, that's fucking overwhelming to think about playing all that shit and being perfect because it's such a tiny, precise adjustment. It's like minuscule, but it makes a huge difference. Like, how could a human being ever be so precise? How could I ever be so precise? The thing is, you practice, you just suddenly become able to do it. And it's like, wow, like, you just do it. And so don't worry about how long it's going to take or anything. Practice with sincerity and dedication and have faith that you will be blessed by being able to do it well. That's not the right way I wanted to articulate it. The blessing, it's like, I see it as a spiritual matter. You search for the blessing with sincerity. What is the blessing? The blessing is the perfection. Or any advancement towards it that's significant. Because it feels like a blessing. Someone could give you their blessing verbally, and it can completely change how you feel. If it's a sincere, genuine blessing. A blessing isn't just some concept. It's a real spiritual thing. It's not just, it doesn't just mean the definition of what a blessing is, of approval or something like that. A blessing is a spiritual thing. And so, let's say I want to learn something in which there are no teachers. If I pursue that, with dedication and sincerity, I will have faith that eventually I will receive its blessing. And what is that blessing? It is divine revelation, it is intuition, it's inspiration, it is an epiphany. It suddenly becomes aware, you suddenly become aware of something. You have this amazing idea that comes out of nowhere, or if it's something involving like a drum, like technique, you can suddenly one day wake up and just do it. Or begin to do it. And beginning to be able to do it is a big difference from not being able to do it at all. And so with anything, you search with sincerity, you pursue it with sincerity and dedication. Because if you don't have dedication, you're not putting the energy into it. It's like, think about it. The blessing requires this much XP points. You don't know how much XP points it's going to have, but you have faith that it is there, and you're going to work hard towards it, putting your XP in it, aka gaining experience in it. And eventually, when you have enough experience, you put enough energy into it spiritually to where it just like blossoms. Or boom, it comes to you. So, and the blessings apply to anything in life. And then what I first thought of when I said that is people. Does it apply to people? What if somebody wants somebody who doesn't want them? If they sincerely put energy into them, are they going to be blessed by getting them? No. Because it might be sincere, but it's not grounded. So you have to have the right approach. You have to still be grounded. Then you might wonder, am I approaching this right? Well, if you're learning the drums and you're watching me, then yes, you are. But most people don't approach it right. Their practice is shit. They don't know how to practice. They don't actually practice at all. They don't even know they need to practice. They think that playing is practicing. Practicing and playing are two different things. And so if you practice with sincerity and dedication and effectively, then you can receive the blessing. So the key word is also effectively. So I can't just say sincere and dedicated. I also have to say effectively too. Okay, is anybody watching this? Okay, I guess I'll just play. I'm in a talking mood, to be honest. I don't like doing two right hands in a row, or two left hands in a row on a hand drum. It feels unnatural. Maybe I should need to practice it more. Like that. Yeah, I could get it down. That's something I should practice. I thought it was just an ineffective technique, but it's actually just, I need to get better at it. And only alternating is some form of a crutch, but still an effective thing to do in some circumstances. So, because I just found a weakness, now I'm going to work on it for a second. That's how you practice. So I'll just do normal doubles. Which is a lot different on a hand drum. Doubles with slaps, I can do some wrist movement, but when I do the tones, it's full arm, right? So I guess I can maybe do some wrist, but it's still more arm than a drum set anyway. The thing is, I'm really good at doubles in a drum set, but it's a lot different playing with your hands versus sticks. So I have to like relearn it essentially. Every hit should sound exactly the same. Like it's the right hand, the left hand, doesn't matter. 2 in a row, 1 in a row, alternating. Versus should all sound the same. The technique was sloppy. I was going too fast. That's bad practice. Now I gotta slow down. I should be using the metronome, to be honest. You should use the metronome at least a third of the time. No excuses, at least a third. can also do like doubles, but the first one's quiet, second is loud. Because it forces you to like, it gets it, it helps the second one be, a lot of the time the second one is weaker than the first, so it sounds like, so you force the second one to be louder as an exercise. It's also good to practice quiet slaps. I know, I need to do that. Doing everything you do as quietly as possible as an exercise is also an extremely effective exercise. And absolutely mandatory to practice in your stuff. And when you're doing exercises like this, breathe and relax as much as you can. Don't get tense. It's a constant, active application of attention towards relaxation the entire time you're practicing. Even sometimes you might forget for a little bit. You have to catch yourself, like I just did. When I first started playing, I'm really tense. Relax. And by first started playing, I mean right when I started that exercise. Every time I play, the natural instinct I first have is to get tight right before I play. I gotta watch that. So I gotta relax before I play, not start relaxing after. As I played right there, I figured out a micro adjustment of my technique that helped me to do it better, which I realized I should be doing all the time. This is a small drum. It's supposed to be so big that you can tilt it on the ground and wrap your feet around it and it tilts forward. I play it like this, completely flat. I need to intentionally adjust the way I hold it to where I tilt it forward slightly, which requires more leg involvement. I have to squeeze it differently, and I have to like sit a little differently, but it gets a better sound. So now I need to get comfortable with that position. If I had a big full-size drum, I wouldn't have to do that. It'd already be like that naturally. And my arms also get very tired doing this. And so you kind of have to actually treat it like a workout. And when you get really tired, you keep pushing. Because, well, you're building muscle, that's when you grow muscle. But aside from that, that's when you play until exhaustion, you learn how to optimize your technique in order to spend less energy so that you can play more effectively. And that always also automatically results in a better sound and a better feel to it. So that's why the exhaustion exercises are very important. Hi. You want to say hi?
Hi.
Does playing the drum make my skin thicker? I don't know. I was reading the comments for a second. That's why I was holding it back. Mom? Would you bring me that gallon of milk, please? It's in the big jar that has the handle on the counter. Thank you. Tum-ba-tum-ba-da-ba. I don't know if I want to do it like this. Man, I can't get it. Or, see, it's not so clear. You can't hear the difference exactly. That was supposed to be a slap and that was a tone. Is it slap, tone, slap, tone, tone, slap? Or slap, tone, slap, tone, slap, slap? So is it tone, tone, slap, or tone, slap, slap? Or, I fucked up. Tone, tone, slap? Or tone, slap, slap? Boom, boom, ba? Or boom, ba, ba? What? Yeah, thank you. I need some milk. Thank you.
Did you tell them that it's not me that wanted to believe that it's...
You're on camera.
That's okay. That's my landlord. I was worried.
Kind of, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you sound good. You look good. Come on.
Yeah. No. She said I still have my electronic drum set. I'm not interested in that at all. I should just sell it. Unless we have a pedal for it. Well, I was thinking of like playing a bass drum and the djembe at the same time. And I wouldn't use an electric, of course, but get a real one. I just had the urge to quit practicing because I'm getting bored. And then I'm like, okay, what am I going to do instead? Go scroll on my phone? Go do nothing? Okay, I'll practice more then. And that's where discipline comes in. Because I know I don't have anything better I'm going to do right now. Because if I get bored drumming, I'm probably also not going to have the motivation to do anything else. So I'm just going to practice longer because that's how I'm going to get better. And just because you don't enjoy playing doesn't mean you're not getting better either. I still enjoy it. I'm just tired. And also frustrated. Why am I frustrated? Because my hands are hurting a little bit, a little sore, and I am maybe over-practiced. But I'm going to see what happens if I ignore that and keep practicing. Maybe I'll get better faster, or I'll get diminishing returns. I think I'll just get good really fast, to be honest. It just my enjoyment factor will be lower, but it'll be worth it. need to stop mouth breathing while playing. Gotta start mewing. And when you get bored and want to quit practicing, it's good to just meditate for a minute and then force yourself to play longer. And then just keep doing that over and over. If you're trying to practice like 2 to 4 hours a day or something, 2 or 3 hours a day, that's how you can get through it. And also the meditations are micro resets, which actually helps you instill your learnings. If you meditate and you get a little deep, or even if you don't even get deep at all, meditation sets in what you just practiced. So it's actually pretty important to meditate in your practice in the middle of your drumming session. And if you're watching this live, just meditate for a moment with me if you're not doing anything anyway, because I'm not going to talk for a minute anyway, and it's good for you to meditate right now anyway, no matter what anyway. So we should all be doing micro meditations throughout the day. Like, you should be meditating for at least 1 minute, like 5 times a day, at least. So let's get 1 minute in right now. If you're watching now and you weren't watching earlier, I meant, just actively try to relax deeper and deeper every moment. Focus on your breathing every time you have a thought. Let go of it. Don't force yourself to stop thinking. Just let go of the thoughts and redirect your attention back to actively trying to relax deeper and deeper while breathing through your belly. One good thing to do is to count your breath. So it's like, okay, I'm going to take 15 inhalations right now. If I forget what number I'm on, just guess. It depends if you're doing a strict meditation or a casual one. If you're just trying to get 1 minute out, you don't have to keep track of your breaths. But if you're doing an active meditation session for a long time, if you mess up on your counting, you really should start back at 1. But that's assuming you have an infinite amount of time to meditate and you're not just trying to get a quick minute in. So I'm going to do 15. And it's not over until you exhale after the 15th. And during the entire count that you set to yourself, you do not move at all until it's done. Don't even try to swallow your spit if you can. You can breathe fast or slow. You can do the first 5 or 10 fast and then the last 5 slow. Or you can do the first 10 really slow and then get impatient and just do 5 more really quick. As long as it's still full. No shallow breaths. No. That doesn't count. It still has to be full expansion and full exhalation every time. Or at least most of the way. Because if you're relaxing, you're not exhaling 100% every time. You're exhaling like 70, 80%. And I enjoy that meditation, so I'm just sitting like this for another moment because I feel good. And because my mom just came outside. Okay, more practice. I've noticed a lot of time if I'm upset and I just go play the drums, I feel better. It's great for activity hormones, primal diet, burning your activity hormones, grounding quickly. It's grounding. You're actually hitting a real animal skin and wood. You're not hitting a piece of plastic or using drumsticks. You ever anxious? You ever worried? Just start drumming and try to forget about it. Think about that shit later. You have a problem? Start thinking about it only after you're done worrying about it. So work out and forget about your problem, and then think about your problem again when you're really grounded and have no fear or anxiety anymore. Because if you're thinking in worry or anxiety and fear, you're less likely to create a good solution to that problem. That's a low slap incorporated into there. That's on purpose. Now I got a fourth sound to use. First time I've implemented that. And that's a workout. I need some big bass drums. And add solo on top of that. Except for I want to have to do the bass myself. I'm gonna go eat some raw liver now.